is up, everybody? It's Orange Bloods Live. Jeff, Chad with you. Texas OU just around the corner. And yeah, man, we will be talking about the very latest in that game. Injury reports. What are we expecting? I tried, along with the new queen of the chat, with all due respect to the South End Zone queen, we tried to overturn a potential curse. We've got Brian Jones today, and he said some stuff about some stuff from earlier today or from this week that a lot of people quite honestly had a reaction to. So there's a lot of stuff today.
It's exciting, Catch. For the very first time since we started having Brian on the show, he just gives his opinion. It just didn't appear like he had that filter. You know how Brian's always real careful about every answer.
I heard he also curses without you having to push him into it.
It was good too. And it's kind of like a whispery. It's almost like a Dolly Parton. You know how Dolly can do the whisper talk sing kind of thing? It's almost one of those. It's really good.
It's going to be romantic on the show. You won't want to miss it. That will be in the back end of the video, by the way. Jump into the Specs chat it up. We'll tell you more about Specs. We'll tell you more about Texas Card House, where both of us will be tomorrow for Texas OU.
Mm-hmm. Hey, this is how we started it. This was our first game at Texas Card House last year. What happened? 34-3. Longhorns by a bunch. Come on out.
We're 1-0 for Texas OU at the Card House Social. We'll be doing that tomorrow. Post-game show will be there as well. Like I said, we'll circle back around on that in a little bit. Very latest on the game. I joked with Chad earlier today. It feels like I don't know that they really know what they're going to do with John Mateer until tomorrow. He shows up. If it feels good, you get the sense he's definitely going to play. But I don't know that he's had a full practice. I don't know what would constitute a full practice. I go back to what I said when the injury first happened, that the thing that we needed to be prepared for is that they would do exactly this, whether he would play or not, that we would get to the game. And then there would be, well, he's going to come back in somewhat record time. Well, has he practiced? Well, what do you mean practiced? Was he there? I can confirm that he was there. Mm-hmm. Did he have a red practice jersey on? Define jersey. You're right. You get into these wordplay games. And one of the things you still have not heard with Mateer is that, you know what? He went out with the team in pads, full practice, let it rip, no issues.
Yeah, because the technicality is he's probable on last night's injury report. That's supposed to be 75%, Catch. Questionable supposed to be a coin flip.
Correct.
Doubtful supposed to be 25%. He's now been upgraded to probable. He was questionable on the first one. So supposedly he's gone from coin flip to 75% in a day.
And then, look, I don't know what it means for a guy to not have practiced or played for a few weeks and then just show up somewhat cold. I would do this if I was Texas, defer.
Well, I do it anyway, but yeah.
I would do it anyway, but this is already one of those games where it's hey, do you want the ball first? I'm good, actually. Lake can have it first.
No, both teams are saying defer. They should tell the ref before he even flips the coin. By the way, defer is the answer. Is that good for you? Yeah, we're good. We're defer.
And look, I hate to say it, but our guy Chance is kind of the poster boy for, hey, guys, maybe just settle down early in the game. Hey, if third and long, punt. It was I'm sure Chance can see Derek Strait in his sleep. Mm-hmm. And, it goes that way sometimes. The best of them can come out and be a little – it happened to Quinn 2 years ago, right? It just came out. He had won the year before in record fashion, and then they come out, and I didn't think his wide receiver fought for a ball hard enough, and there's just a couple of things that didn't quite go well, and you look and you're trailing by a couple of scores, and it can be that kind of a game. And look, all things being equal – to me, this isn't the game that you want a guy coming in off the street to play in. I think that's a little bit of an advantage. I'm picking Texas to win this game by the slightest of margins. I don't think this is a great OU team. I don't think this is a great Texas team. I know you don't agree with me that that Auburn and I think Auburn should have beaten Oklahoma. I think a couple of things that go in Oklahoma's favor that I think a lot of people agree shouldn't have. You just tweak even one of those. That was a game that Auburn led late in the fourth quarter, and in the end they didn't win, but a couple of plays go the other way, and that whole thing changes.
Yeah.
I don't think Oklahoma's great. They can't run the ball any better than Texas can. And this one of the big stories of this week has been, whoa, is Texas. They were exposed against Florida. Man, they suck. And it's like, but so do they. Like Oklahoma doesn't do that any better than Texas does. It's a weird game. This is not a Texas OU game that I think you can, I don't know. Like, I don't know what this game is. This maybe the closest thing to the James Brown game in 94, where you just didn't know what the team was going to have at quarterback potentially.
Right.
John Mackovic goes into that game the day before, literally shrugging his shoulders and saying, I don't know. I don't know. I remember hearing John Mackovic say, James Brown's the worst practice quarterback I have ever seen in my life. That was the day before the game.
But what part of this game are you comping it to? Mateer?
No, I don't. Well, I don't know that you know what you're getting with Mateer.
Okay, but you got to know. You got to know more. They got to know more than Mackovic thought he knew about Brown, right?
Well, they know he's healthy. Like, I don't know. If he hasn't really gone full speed, it's been a few weeks, and they haven't really tested the handout, and it's still like, hey, we need to see what it looks like on game day. How can they know?
Yeah. And then you make an interesting point about the run game too. 96th in the country running the ball. And think about the opponents. OU statistically is a worse running team against lesser opponents than Texas is. Texas has faced that Ohio State defense and that Florida defense. Oklahoma has not faced a defense close to either one of those, and they are that much worse statistically. It's just that part of the game is fascinating to me, Catch. The team that wins the rushing battle usually wins this game. I just wonder if this year maybe the winner wins it like 58-51. I
think if Mateer plays, look, neither of these teams can run the ball. If I set the over and under, if there's a prize picks deal where it's like team rushing 100 yards, I don't know that either team can get there if the quarterbacks don't have huge roles.
Right. They're going to have a big bust out run. I totally agree with you. By the way, while you're there, real quick, the first super chat, since you're getting into it, Tony 499 said, any prize pick bets you like from the game since the lines have come out?
I took the more on Arch Manning rushing yards. It was at 21 and a hook.
Yeah, I take that.
And I think he's going to get sacked some, but I think for maybe I think tomorrow we see more Arch running the football than we've probably seen by design all season long. And I've not been an advocate for that because I've said this numerous times. Arch Manning didn't come to Texas to play under Steve Sarkisian to be Tim Tebow. But I've also pointed to the similarities this season between 2010 and 2025 so far. Texas started that season 3-2. They fell into the land of the unranked after having been top 5 at the exact same point in the season. Game 6 for Texas in 2010 was on the road at Nebraska. And I forget what Nebraska was ranked that day, but they were ranked. They were a favorite in that game.
Yep.
And they turned Garrett Gilbert into an early Tim Tebow facsimile. And he passed just enough, ran just enough. And Texas kind of just won that game. They just kind of outclassed Nebraska with like, you know what? We're more talented than you. We're going to brisket and potato salad us all day on offense. No frills, no mac and cheese, no spicy dishes that only this restaurant has. This is, you came here for barbecue. Here's some potato salad and brisket. Shut the hell up. And I can see Texas trying to do a little bit of that tomorrow. I wouldn't be shocked if Arch has 20 carries in this game. That will include some sacks, but I think the design. Yes, the Tony. I don't know that there's anything else from that game that I love, but I do love the Arch Manning rush stat.
Interesting. Tony, thank you for that super chat. We got other super chats that are coming in. We will get to that. Let's go ahead and reference that watch party. Catch talked about it. Let's make sure you understand where we're going to be. TCH, Social, Austin, come get some of these specials. I'm going after a jellyfish for sure. $3 jellyfish, $2 select drafts, $4 Fanatic cocktails, and that great wing special, plus all the other food. I'm telling you, the Cajun salmon is worth it. I had multiple people getting that Cajun salmon last week and saying, Chad, you're not just BSing us there. The salmon's great. Yes, it is. The meatloaf's great. The burger's great. The chicken sandwich is great. They do awesome. Their fries are excellent. Get out there, come see the game with us, and give it a shot. Also, make sure you get in to the post-game show. We'll talk about it. Adam Lowy and the Lowy Law Firm sponsor it, and we will be talking about whatever happens in Dallas. So come on out for the watch party. While I'm at it, let's also mention Hijack Poker in the great state of Texas, from Dallas all the way to Brownsville and everywhere in between. Put it on your device, play some online poker, and get after it. Thanks to TCH for all their great sponsorship. You see that Texas Card House logo up at the top each and every show. All right. Yes, sir.
Why are we trying to – did we know why it was – did Tyler choose the picture for the watch game graphic?
For us to show, I chose that.
The Arch, like, anguish and pain looking face?
I didn't know if anybody watching was going to notice it. I didn't know if you were going to notice it. I had 3 choices. That's the choice I went with.
Put it back up.
I decided to go with the football picture.
Put it back up.
All right.
Look at this.
I understand which picture it is.
What are you doing?
I get which picture it is. I had the choice. It was either that, it was you or me, you and me. I thought that would be a little self-serving. And then there was another one of just kind of a generic person watching the screen, but you can't really see the screen. So I was like, I'll go with the football picture. And I saw that it was the Arch Anguish picture, but I thought, no, let's go with that. Let's go with that. It kind of tells the story in a way.
Okay. Hey, man, look, don't ask questions you don't want answers to. Sure. And that may have just fallen into that category. Look, super chats, or do you want to hear the enchilada story and an attempt to make sure that we're not responsible for anything that happens badly on Saturday?
Oof, I do like we're not responsible. You know what? If there's an enchilada story to tell, I think we need to do that. Clint, I see your 2 super chats. We'll get to them after Ketch tells the enchilada story. So what the hell? Did you break the seal? What's going on?
I think it's important context. My enchiladas not having sister in crime, Michelle.
Yes.
We had noticed since we made the vow to eat enchiladas if Texas won the national championship.
That was the bet, yes.
Not bet. That was what we said.
That was your statement, yes.
We thought that there might – well, look, do you believe in the football gods?
Of course.
If you believe in the football gods, you have to believe in the Tex-Mex gods.
Well,
and
sure.
If you believe in the Tex-Mex gods and the football gods, it's not inconceivable that they could know each other.
Okay.
Our concern is that we were a little uppity with who the hell are we to say if Texas wins a national championship, we'll stoop ourselves down to the level of eating enchiladas.
I like it.
And we just felt like ever since we made that kind of, I don't know, maybe potentially karma challenging swear of sorts, that nothing for Texas football's kind of gone right.
All right, so let's not bury the lead. Did you and Michelle have enchiladas?
We met at a Mexican food restaurant yesterday.
Wait, you met Michelle?
Well, yeah, we decided look, What we decided was we can't get to Saturday and Texas lose, and the two of us question whether or not it's our fault that this is happening. And this is, people are saying, Chad, people are saying,
I've heard it. People are saying it.
People are saying it. And
Okay.
I didn't want to be doing a post-game show on Saturday night and the enchiladas thing be a thing.
Okay.
And Michelle did not want to go into the weekend with this hanging over her head either.
Okay. So you met Michelle and then you both had enchiladas?
The story's a little bit more involved than that.
Of course it is.
I went to Orange Bloods. I asked for suggestions.
Uh-huh.
There was a suggestion of a restaurant that sounded really nice. And so I was like, if we're going to do it, we'll go there. So we go there, right?
Okay.
And we tell the waiter this story.
Oh, God.
This is the story. We are both very picky eaters.
That poor waiter. I hope you tipped this person well.
Sit tight. We tell him.
Brian Jones coming up in about 30 minutes by
No.
where this is
I'm going to get this told. Don't worry. This is important stuff, Chad.
I know.
You asked for it.
Oh, I did. You're absolutely right.
Remember earlier when I asked the question and you don't? So we basically let him know that we're a couple of gringos and like we need something basic. We don't want beans or anything. We're a little nervous about the brown sauce, but we realize that it needs to be there because we want to be able to walk away saying we've had enchiladas. And the thing that the restaurant that we went to was, and I can't remember it because it was spelled with some letters that weren't English. There's like an X in it. There's an X in it. It's on the mall. On the mall ring.
They had apostrophes and weird little squiggles over letters.
There's an X. I could look at my phone, but there was an X.
Okay, you went to Xanadu for enchiladas. Go ahead.
Bingo. The dude tells us, y'all got to go, man. He's like, we do not serve. Our stuff's too good.
Oh, God.
You guys need,
Wait, they sent you out for lesser enchiladas?
That they thought was more up to our speed.
Now that deserves a tip.
I gave the guy a $20 tip on a $2 bill.
They heard your full explanation. They're like, you know what?
He's
Taco Bueno.
No, he said I used to work at Good Company. That's where you guys need to go. It was like the time I called 1-800-YOU-MIDGET and was going to order a little person to work at a Christmas party. Yeah, and when I didn't have like $5,000 to spend on the deal, the guy was like, hey, man, no worries. Give me your address. I'll send you some pens and some swag. And one of these days when you're a baller and you're not a little bitch, like you can call back.
Michelle's jumping in too. Dude was about to serve bougie ass fake enchiladas.
He and he knew it.
No,
so he sent us to Good Company.
Above y'all.
He tells us to ask for a specific waiter, of which they tell us we get, but then I asked the waiter if the guy that we're looking for, and he's like, I don't know who the hell you're talking about. He takes the order, and he's like, oh, you guys came to the right place. I know exactly what you want. This is what you have to have. The guy that sent you here is right. And Chad, show the photo of what they put in front of us.
Here it is. This is the enchilada plate. Okay, did each of you get one of these, or did you share this plate?
No, man. I got the one close to the camera. She got the other one.
Okay, cheese enchiladas, beef enchiladas. What are we looking at?
There's chicken in there. That was at my behest.
Of course.
She was like, I think, a minimalist approach to this. And I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, chicken sounds good. And then she was like, protein. So look,
oh my God.
This is what before I tell you what happened.
Yes.
Does this qualify?
Does this qualify? You guys are such nerds. If I can call you nerds, you're nerds. Yes, that qualifies. Those look like enchiladas.
Okay.
How
look, we were worried that at the end of this, somebody would tell us, oh, that didn't count. And then we'd have to just do it all over again.
Look, you're fine. I think if the curse can be broken, you did a good thing. You were thinking too uppity. Even the waiter thought you were thinking too uppity once you explained yourself. He got you to the right level.
Be very bougie. Yeah.
You got to the enchiladas. I feel like you needed to do. Plus, you met Michelle. That's awesome. So, what's the verdict? Like, what did you think of your first enchiladas?
We both had the exact same reaction.
Okay.
We were worried gag reflex and having to spit into a towel. Like, that was a real concern. We took a bite. I think we both took our time with the first bite, not knowing what we were going to get.
Oh my God.
And we both had the exact same reaction.
Which was?
Very mid. And when the guy came back, the waiter, he was like, well, what did you think? Right? He was really excited for us. And I was like, honestly, I don't get the fuss. I was like, if 100 times out of 100, I'd rather just have fajitas. And he gave me this look like I had told him his family's secret recipe was dog shit. Yeah. I felt bad, honestly. Like,
I'm sure you did,
me, and Michelle saw it, and we both laughed at the fact that I had insulted this guy's and Good Company's enchiladas. But yeah, I've been to Good Company before. Fajitas, yeah. No, we got the wrong thing.
Okay, but hopefully, for the sake of this game, the curse is broken. Now y'all have tried enchiladas, and the exact reaction.
Look, man, I'm letting you know right now. Texas wins tomorrow. Michelle and I are taking all of the credit.
You and Michelle will need all the credit. I'm glad you guys finally have had.
Not me taking. We're taking.
You're taking the credit. Like
in 1995, when I told Terrence Ringer that Jerry Krause wrote down not a clutch player on a scouting report at a DePaul basketball game. Mm-hmm. And after I told him that at dinner at Bennigan's at like midnight, he went on a 10-game heater that saw him average like 30 points a game or something like that. And Texas won the Southwest Conference Championship. And I have always felt like I made that happen.
There you go.
I have always felt like I deserved a ring. I deserved a ring. They didn't give me a ring, and nobody in history has never reflected that without my interference, that never happens. Because I'm telling you, you should have seen his face when he was like, what did he write? And I told him what was written down, and the dude averaged like 30 a game the rest of the season. Yeah. Not a clutch player. Hardcore, Jerry Krause, and just write that down on a notepad while I'm sitting next to you. No, history will reflect that if Texas wins tomorrow, the sacrifice that Michelle and I made for everyone. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Not all heroes wear capes. And I think that's clearly the case here.
All right. I think the key phrase is that you and Michelle, much like a lot of Longhorn fans going into this game, were concerned about a gag reflex. I'm glad you had the enchiladas, and I am glad, and you had the exact reaction I knew you would have, and I'm glad we can all move on in our food lives. The chances of enchiladas being liked by you were so low. And you hit about that. That's about the reaction I would have expected. Okay, is it time for Brian Jones? All right, before we get to Brian Jones, let me tell y'all where I would go if I was going to get enchiladas. I'd go here. I'd go to Hayes City Store. They have truck stop enchiladas. They are legendary. Catch would think they're mid, but they are really good. Go have them. They also have a really good chicken fried steak. There's an OB poster that thinks it's not good, but that poster's wrong too, because that's one of the best chicken fried steaks I've ever had. The queso on the left is awesome. And when I see a picture of the Ice House at Hayes City Store, I just get a big smile on my face because it's one of my favorite places on the planet. The weather's turning a little bit in October. Get on out there, have some of the great food and drink. Tell them we sent you. Tell Travis and Tamara that we said hello here at Orange Bloods Live. All right, here we go.
Real quick.
Yes.
I just want to say I've had the chicken fried steak, and it's to die for. Like, it's memorable. I still think about it.
Yep, that's true. Catching that chicken fried steak at Hayes City Store do have a relationship.
We do.
Definitely better than the relationship he has with those enchiladas in Houston.
It is not mid.
He is definitely not mid. And it's never mid when we get to talk to Brian Jones of CBS Sports. Here we go. If you need that gear, go to the University Co-op, legendary, right there on the drag, or go to universitycoop.com and search Real Snow Milk for the gear. Brian Jones of CBS Sports. He's out there in Oregon for the big one with Indiana and Oregon. We'll get there. But, Brian, we do need to talk some Texas OU. I wish it was under better circumstances going in. I'm sure. I know you're a pro. I know you went back and watched Texas, Florida. Let's start there. What did you see?
Oh, it was a mess, dude. It was as if a Big 12 defense showed no idea the physical ways of the SEC. And I didn't expect that. Now, I thought the offensive line would struggle. And last Tuesday during our ICF show, our Inside College Football show, I was all set to pick Florida to win the ball game. But somehow, some way, my heart took control of the wheel, and Texas blurted out. Because I was going back and forth, but I knew that this Florida defense had played pretty well in all their games.
Yeah.
And the offense was the problem, and I didn't think our defense would be the slump buster for DJ Lagway, as we discussed a week ago. But that's exactly what they were, and he had his best game ever versus an FBS foe in terms of passing. He was over 250 and a couple of touchdowns, so we made him look great. There was no pass rush. That's really has it long, at least a consistent pass rush. They were able to run the ball on them. They just got punked in the trenches, man, and I didn't expect that from this Texas defense. And offensively, hell, I wasn't upset with Archer. Everyone's talking about he's holding the ball too long. Maybe one throw he held it a little bit too long. The first interception, the receiver should have kept coming across the field and just stopped. The second one, that was a heave and a hope he throws up. But that kid was running for his life, man. 6 sacks. He was pressured, 59, 60% of the passes. They can't block. They put it left tackle, 71 or 70. I mean, a left guard, 71 or 79. Those kids were getting crushed, man. So they've got to figure something out, and they got to do it quickly, because if they thought that defense was something, this OU defense, these cats will eat you alive. I mean, they know how to hunt. They turnovers in this last ball game versus Kent State, but that's nothing compared to that Florida swamp stuff. That's nothing compared to the hatred these guys are going to bring to the contest. So I was just sitting there perplexed at the Texas defense. It couldn't never play as poorly as they did, especially coming off a bye. That's problematic. You're coming off a bye. You're in the SEC. And some of those kids played in Tuscaloosa a couple of years ago. So they should have had an idea. They should have known what was in store. And lay an egg such as that. I understand Muhammad wasn't there at the one cornerback position, but God, that was bad. And I'm sitting there, Chad, I'm watching this game. And the first play, as you remember, that's Dallas Wilson guy. And Coach Neuheisel had mentioned him during our Tuesday show last week. And he fumbles. They make the tackle on, I think it was Gilbo, tackles him, and the ball is there, and we don't recover. And I said, wow, I hope that's not an omen for what's to come. And it was, because you get that, you get all the momentum right out the gate. They're over there on the bench thinking, okay, here we go again. And yet they recover, and the rest is history. So such as that, they had a good week of practice, and they're going to come out freaking piping mad and hot and get the job done. I think they can win it. I'm surprised they're favored, but I think they can win it because OU's offense hasn't looked great. Yeah, their receivers are healthy, but they can't run the ball either. Hawkins, whoever plays. So Arch will be running for his life again. There's no way they're going to be able to block these Oklahoma Sooners. And Coach Flood's got his work cut out for him. Here's what I don't understand in this portal era. And especially since he said he didn't like the manner in which the roster was configured. Not enough guys on the interior. If you understand that, and you said that when you first took the job. Why the hell haven't you dipped in the portal and gotten you a couple of guys that these young guys are being developed? Go get you one or two guys out of that portal. You do it at all the other positions. Why not do it at offensive line? So that is perplexing to me. And lastly, his comments, and I don't know when this was it post game or his Monday press conference, to sit there and whine about having to play at Ohio State and having to play it in the swamp. That is not a good look. And that does not send the right message to those guys. Locker room. I just, why would you say some shit like that, man? You sound soft. You sound soft. And of course, everyone was hitting it. USF said, we went in there and won. Yeah. You can't go in there and win. I mean, that Michigan, last year with a bad team, we won. Beating them twice during the last, couple of years. It just I just couldn't. When I saw that quote, I said, he didn't say that. I said, you got to give me the context of that. And I just can't, you can't say shit like that. I'm sorry. That is not the message you want to send to your guys. That sounds whiny. It sounds soft. And it sounds as though you're not up to the task. Simple as that.
Brian, it's interesting that you mentioned that because it was the Monday press conference, and it was one of those where it was Kirk Bohl's question. It was sort of a trap question. I actually like the way Kirk asked it, because he's like, you haven't led against a Power 4 team.
Haven't defeated a Power 4.
Yeah, but haven't even led. When he said it that way, I'm like, oh, he's right. But he said, you haven't even led against a Power 4. Are you as shocked as I am? Are you as stunned as I am by that? And then, like you said, I mean, the examples are so easy. You mentioned two of them. South Florida just went to the swamp. Michigan going to Ohio State. The Aggies went to the swamp last year and beat two different quarterbacks. And Florida's been a mess, on and off for yeah. Plus, Brian, forget all of that. That coach can never say that, ever. You can never be the head coach at Texas and make a comment like that, because it's going to ring. It's going to ring out to the country, and it's going to be heard the way you heard it.
You know what it reminded me of? It brought back John Malkovich and his comment after, you can't beat Rice all the time.
Oh, bullshit. Yeah.
Yes, you can. We've only been beating them all the time.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yeah, that was that, and the what was it? The quarterback sneak was not in the playbook. Yeah, that one too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's crazy. So, Brian, as we go into this, I know you said they can beat them. They can beat OU this week. I agree with you, but I really did lose some trust overall with that defensive performance. I'm glad you started with it, because it was your side of the ball that disappointed me the most. I thought I could trust them. And like you said, they just started giving all that up. So my trust level is down to where I just don't think they can score enough. My pick is OU by like a 24-14 kind of game, because I just don't think Texas can score enough. I don't trust them to run it. I don't trust them to protect for Arch. So where are you in terms of trying to pin down a pick? Because you're one of those guys that you'll give me the real stuff, even though you played for them and all that. You'll tell me if you think OU's winning this game. Like,
right.
What
I was leaning that way, and I went back and watched OU's film, and I've watched them a couple times this year, the Auburn tape, of course, the Michigan tape. And if you can open some holes, there's some running lanes to be had. But I don't think this is the offensive line to do it. What's going to save Texas offensively will be Arch's wheels, as that's what kept him in the game last week.
Yeah.
He'll probably have to be the leading rusher again, because I don't see these. They are thinking. They're not sure of what they're doing. You can tell, because they're not physical. They're not getting to the second level. They don't recognize games that the defensive line is running. Like simple shit that you should be able to do. Combo block. Combo and get to the second level. They can't do any of that stuff. And we were saying this about Arch the first couple of weeks of the season. The simple stuff they're not able to execute. It's the same with this offensive line, man. And once you know what you're doing and it's at every position, that's when you can be physical. You can just go play ball. And I don't offensive line because they're thinking too much and they're unsure of their responsibility. So Archer's going to have to run for his life, but I think he can make some plays with his leg. And I hope they move the pocket. You just can't have him standing back there in a traditional, prototypical offense. You run some boots, some waggles. You got to move that pocket because they're going to be licking their chops.
Yeah, Brian, I think this is the game. The guy I keep thinking of is R. Mason Thomas, number 32 for OU. Yep. I mentioned it a month ago. It wasn't just like this week. I realized a month ago, I thought, man, those two tackles better be ready for that cat. Because Brian, if I could get a machine to make a defensive end, it might make R. Mason Thomas. Like, he looks the part. He feels the part. And there are plays I've watched him where I can tell he's going to get a sack, and they haven't even snapped the ball. Like, he's that impressive to me.
He's impressive. That number 7 at linebacker, he's got that African name, Osamigo or something. I can't pronounce some damn names. Mm-hmm. That number 0 on their D-line, he's dang good. Yeah, they're an exceptional group on that side of the ball, man. So they're impressive. You're right. R. Mason Thomas.
So Brian, the formula for this win really is with you, because I love to look up weird stats. So here it is. This is the 15th time that Texas will play OU when they're unranked and OU's in the top 10. Mm-hmm. And Texas is 4-10 in those kind of games. You were a part of the first time Texas ever did it, going back to that Shock the Nation year. So let's talk about 14-13. I got to hand it to y'all. You used a patented blend of losing the turnover battle by 2 and getting outrushed 292 to 106, and you still won the ball game.
That was my junior year. That was the Mike Gaddis year, I believe, and they rushed for 292 on us. And he'd still be running if he hadn't blown out his knee. Thank you, Thank you, Cotton Bowl Turf, because I don't think I've tried. You're right. That was my first OU ball game, and I'm hyperventilating, and because I've never. And Neuheiser was asking me, and Randy were asking me the other day, compare and contrast that game with UCLA USC. Ain't none. That was, y'all ain't got the hate. That this one, it was just totally different, man. So yeah, that game somehow we were unranked, even though we were coming off a win at Arkansas, and they were top 10, and we found a way to win the ball game, man. That's what it's about, and that's the reason I picked Texas the other night. That's how I ended my comments on that. This particular matchup was with teams that played them and beat them when they were a top 10 team. So it's rivalry for a reason, and we all know rivalry games throw out the record. And the way Texas played last week, especially defensively, if they come out and lay another egg, they may end up losing 6 games this year, because that was the way they bought. And anytime running backs are falling forward, and it seems every run they were going forward, there were no TFLs or no knocking them back. That's when you know you're in trouble.
So in terms of this win, if you're picking Texas here, you think it's got to be one of those type of games. 90 was 14-13 and 91 was 10-7. Is that where Texas is going to have to hold OU, you think, if they're going to
beat? What was 89? 89, I think I was a close one too, I believe.
89 was tight too, and that was – I don't have that one in front of me. What was 89? 89 was like wasn't it 2017 or –
We weren't ranked. We played in my senior year. We had to have been, because the only loss we had by then was Colorado. We had lost to them. Maybe we weren't. I don't remember. I know one of those years. I thought it was my sophomore year. I mean, my junior year, we weren't ranked and we beat them. But it's got to be a game where you got to win the turnover battle. And I think the defense might. Hopefully, it's the good guys that score. But the defense, and I think Arch with his legs. Arch can make some plays with his wheels. He's a good enough athlete. Don't want to get him killed and run him too much. But he's even said that's when he gets in his groove after that first hit.
Mm-hmm.
So I run his ass on the first play so we can make sure he's in his groove. Now go do some work.
So when they made you make your official pick this week, did you go Texas?
Yes, I went Texas.
Yeah. Okay.
I went Texas. I can't see this. I'm holding out hope that defensive performance was an aberration. It can't be. And hopefully the Muhammad kid's back so you can lock down, guys on the corners. But I'm hoping that was an aberration. These guys can play much better, but they got to play. Anthony Hill Jr. has not played like an All-American. I mean, I watched this film, and these guys are blocking them underneath blocks. You have to play sound football, and you have to be physical. Hit that motherfucker in the mouth. He going to hit you in the mouth. There's going to be contact, and there's going to be a collision. Either you initiate it or you allow the other guy to initiate it, and they were allowing Florida to initiate it. And so Colin Simmons, to his credit, didn't do much first quarter, but after that, he was setting the edge, and he was making some tackles in the backfield. But where has that pass rush been? If there was anything I thought I could hang my hat on coming into this season, it was those guys on the edges, the pass rush. Non-existent. So what's going on there? The guys in the middle, they've got to play better. The big guys, you can't be moved. And the backers, you got to scrape. And Anthony Hill Jr., I know you got a ton of speed, dude, but that shit, you just making the hole wider by running underneath. If you go underneath the block, we all learned this. If you go underneath the block, you better damn well make the tackle. You better make the tackle because that's the only excuse for going underneath. If you got to play fundamentally sound, cross the face, be physical as you to the ball. But if you're going to go out there and just do what you want to do, you better make the play. You have to, because there's no excuse for not playing the defense correctly.
There you go. Brian Jones, he is picking Texas and holding out hope, and he's going to be there at Outson Stadium when Indiana plays Oregon. Brian, give me a little thought about what you guys are going to see. The CBS 2:30 at the same time as Texas OU is Indiana, Oregon. There's just stats all over this game. These two are top 5 or top 10 in every category you want. What do you think we're going to see?
Well, I hope we don't see, and Indiana's hoping this is lost because they're 0-46 on the road versus ranked opponents. Yeah.
0-46?
0-46. It's either ranked opponents or top 10 opponents, but 0-46.
That's
but
Owen,
I think
Owen Buddy Ryan for the kids out there. Look that up.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
I like how you well played, Chad. There it is. They're going to need a Buddy Ryan defense to stop this offense because Oregon is as balanced as they come, averaging about 250 passing, 230 on the ground. But this defense for Indiana, they're right there at the top as far as sacks, and they're only giving up 133 via air and 88 on the ground. So something's got to give. Both of these quarterbacks are excellent. Mendoza, 16 touchdowns, threw his first interception last game at Iowa, and you got Dante Moore, who's been lights out. I mean, these cats are really tearing it up. It's amazing. Like 7 quarterbacks in the Big Ten are just killing it right now. Altmaier, Illinois. You got Maiva at USC. I mean, this young cat, Malik Washington at Maryland. They've got a good one versus Nebraska. But Mendoza's done something that hasn't been done. And that year, Bryce Young won the Heisman. He's got 2 games where he's completed 90% of his passes and thrown 5 touchdowns and no picks. Yeah, 2 of them. And one was against Illinois and the other one was Indiana State. But still, you can't do that on air, man. I mean, 90%, 5 touchdowns and no picks. Only other guy to do that was Bryce Young, and he won the Heisman that year. Or the last guy, I should say, to do it was Bryce. So great quarterback play. We'll see which running game really steps up. This Jordan Davison, the freshman for up and showed out. They've got the Corian Moore, the wide receiver. I think he's from Texas.
From Duncanville.
Duncanville, yeah. So he is lighting it up. And all the freshmen that they're playing right now play a significant role in their offense. So it's going to be fun. Their offensive line, Oregon's outweighs Indiana's, but that D-line will get after you. So this is going to be a hell of a football game. I am looking forward to it. And two coaches who are winning 85% of their games.
Yeah, and two coaches that ain't afraid of nothing, ain't afraid to make a weird call, ain't afraid to make a weird statement. Like, these two don't care. That's going to be a fun game. That's so cool. You're getting to see your first game at Alston. That is awesome.
Yep.
Brian, before I let you go, let me wrap around to Texas OU one more time.
Yep.
After all this time, when someone mentions the game, what's the aspect that pops into your head? Because you've played in it, you've won the game, and, you know, I'm not sure if you've ever been as just a fan. You can tell me. I know you've been on the sideline. You've seen this game from so many different angles.
You know what? I have not been as just a fan. Every time I went, I was working. You're right.
You're working, right? So you've played. You've been on the sideline. So you've seen it from a perspective that just nobody else, you know, has. It's so unique. So now, when somebody says it to you, hey, Brian, Texas OU's coming up, what pops into your head?
I said it Tuesday. Can't stand them motherfuckers.
Just the hate? The hate is what pops in.
And that goes back to the question Rick and Randy asked me Tuesday about comparing the rivalries. And I grew up watching Texas OU. My week, or it ruined my week, not along with the Cowboys, right, as a kid. Yep. So that's been ingrained in me. And having been recruited by both, I was like, ain't no way in hell I'm going to Oklahoma. You must be crazy. Yeah, thank you, Coach Switzer and Coach North. Nah, I can't do that, man. And that was just my mindset. So what comes to mind is it's going to be physical. God, it's going to be physical. But it's such a cool event. It is so cool. And Steve Ross, who was in the sports information department when I was there, and he was there a long time, posted something. I think it was this morning I saw. He talked about coming down that tunnel, and you and I have discussed this.
Yeah,
that is so unique, and you feel like you're floating. And I say it every year, man. It's just indescribable. It's indescribable, that sensation, the emotion, coming down that tunnel, and you're side by side with them bastards. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's nuts. You cannot. I struggle every time you ask me, dude. Every year you ask me, I struggle. It's hard to describe, just that sensation, that emotion, that feeling. And everyone always says big games. Oh, just treat it like any other game. Shh, good luck with that. That ain't happening. I'm getting goosebumps now just thinking about it, and wish. That's why you have to take care. Kids, take well advantage of your opportunities when you have them, so you have no regrets. I mean, we won both of them, so no days out there, but still to get that dub, it's the greatest feeling. And if you don't, as my good late great friend Kenneth Sims says, when you lose that game, or said, I should say, when you lose that game, you're gonna get so drunk you're gonna be falling down. That's how much it hurts if you lose it. I'm glad I did. We talked about this. No, I don't count the one when I was at UCLA, of course, and I don't count when I didn't play in it.
See, that's where Ketch was trying to get technical earlier in the week. I said, Brian does not count that game.
No, that one don't count.
Hey, I appreciate you going through the struggle of trying to explain it, because the struggle explanation, it's beautiful to the rest of us because it is a special game. It is fun to check out. Also, if you want to look a little more like Brian, go get you some of this stuff at the University Co-op before you head up to Dallas. Check out Real Snow Milk at universitycoop.com if you just want to hit.
I hope they're sold out, man.
Yeah. There you go. Well, with that kind of a model, of course they're going to be sold out. What are you talking about? Brian, it is always a pleasure to talk to you, man. Safe travels getting home from Oregon. Enjoy that game, and hopefully you're right about Texas.
My man. Hook 'em.
All right. Let's see if we can get it on. Oh, look at that. We got all kinds of a weird setup going. Let's see if we can do that. There we go. There's that. And we get rid of that. Now we do that. There we are. Brian Jones, CBS Sports. Mr. Ketchum, how are you?
I can't see anybody.
Okay, I can see you. You're looking pretty good. By the way, shout out to that Oregon Wi-Fi for hanging on. It was popping a little, but I think we got every word in on Brian, which was good. We do have some super chats that we can grab as well. that came in while the video was playing. So you want to clean some super chats here? You got any reaction to Brian?
No, man. Let's super chat it up.
Okay, let's start with Clint and those two. Thank you, Clint, for the $5. Texas by 17 plus. Before you laugh, we all know how this game goes. I'm not sold on OU. Only game they've played is Michigan. Meh. Hashtag victory lap on Monday. Clint, I think a lot of people are hoping that you are right because, yeah, I mean, OU certainly has not played a badass team. I don't know if Texas is a badass team, but certainly OU hadn't played one. Another one from Clint. Also, this feels like 2015 all over again. OU 5-0, top 5 ranked. Texas was 1-4 and unranked. Texas never trailed. About to deja vu with or without Mateer.
Only thing I would say about that, Clint, is that the full context of that 2015 game was that morning of that game. So it was an early morning game. And just before kickoff, that was when Herb Street on game day did the Austin is a cesspool comment.
Oh, I'd forgotten that was that game.
Everybody was ready to pounce that Charlie Strong planted that. And then they won. And I called Anwar before that game, and I was like, look, in 3 hours, we need to be prepared for what the fallout will be for that loss and the fact that behind the scenes, everybody knows that Herb Street's a Charlie guy. So that Austin cesspool thing is going to play big. And then they won. So the thing that I was just saying it was completely different about that is you're not wrong about the rating and the ranking and stuff. But I remember feeling hopeless that Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just letting you know, I called Anwar and was like, look, when they get their ass kicked, we got to be ready. You know what's going to hit the fan. And in reality, that's not what tomorrow is.
No.
It's not. The parallels do have some similarities, but I would just say I don't know that the similarities are such that it feels like 2015 all over again.
Well, and here's the other thing, Clint. I brought this up this week in a post on Orange Bloods. That game, football-wise, that was 58 carries for 313 yards rushing. Foreman had 117 and Hurd had 115. I don't think Texas can win like that. But that's how they did it in 2015. It was run the ball till you can't run it anymore. If they have 58 carries tomorrow, this just in, Texas will win this game.
By a lot, probably.
There's my limb. If somehow they get to 58, they're going to win the game. Clint, so I hope that part of it happens. That'd be awesome. We see that out of nowhere.
You get to host the show on Monday if that happens.
That'll be awesome. $1.99 for Sailor Joe. How do you hope/expect Sark to attack this defense? Sailor Joe, I don't know exactly, but he better do it quickly. Do it with quick stuff.
I have no idea.
Because they can't protect for a long time. Get as quick as you can get.
Did you see some of the stats that I posted on Orange Bloods that were from that CBS Sports article?
No.
Give me a second. Do you have one last bill to pay?
Yes, we do. We have a couple things we need to do. So you want me to do that?
I'm going to find these stats. They go right to the heart of this discussion, and they're good enough that I'm referencing on the middle of our show.
Fair enough. All right, we got those super chats. We're going to get to those as well, since we are talking about good stuff. Let me throw some drinks up. How about we'll go mason jars first at the Deep Eddy Vodka tasting room. You can go have some of these cocktails. Remember to bring your mason jars back for a discounted refill. They've also got these two beautiful martinis out there. Bring the martini glasses back for your discounted refill as well. That key lime pie martini. Oh my God, it is so good. And they are ready for you Wednesdays through Sundays at the Deep Eddy Vodka tasting room. They got great barbecue out there as well in the Crimson Creek Smokehouse truck right there next to the place. They bring it in for you. You don't even have to leave the building. You just walk up to the front and grab your stuff. It's a great time. We've been out there. We were out there towards the front of the season, and make your plans to get out there. Tell them we said, hey, tell them you heard about it on Orange Bloods Live. If you look carefully in that key lime pie martini picture, up there in the corner. Yeah, that is some tastings of pineapple Deep Eddy Vodka. You can go have a tasting as well of the 9 different varieties. Check them out. Deep Eddy Vodka tasting room. All right. Did you find what you're looking for, Catch?
I did.
Okay. What do you got?
Okay. You ready for these?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I just said that like that.
That was really good. It feels even better now. I mean, you with this and we're ready.
It's from a CBS Sports article written by Chris Hummer. Full credit. I'm going to read this kind of out of order, but I want to read it so that it's combined makes sense. So he reports that Manning's average depth of target this season is 12 yards per attempt. That's the second highest rate in all of Power 4. And then the writer goes, if you can't run the ball consistently, why continue to push the ball downfield with such regularity? Help your quarterback out with some easy in-rhythm throws. Texas is doing the opposite. Manning has the fewest percentage of throws 1 to 9 yards of any qualifying Power 4 quarterback in the country.
That's crazy.
There's more. When you say that Manning's holding the ball too long, because, right, there's this fine line between they're pushing the ball down the field more than anybody,
Mm-hmm.
and Arch is holding the ball too long on some of these plays, right?
Right.
But according to this article, it says, according to PFF, only 11.8% of pressures, quarterback pressures, are attributed to Manning, which is the 45th lowest of any of the qualifying quarterbacks in the country. So for as long as he's holding the ball,
Mm-hmm.
that part's not what is actually leading to the quarterback pressures, which is...
That's wild.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, no.
But wait, Chad, there's more.
Okay.
It says, quote, play calling can't fix missed passes, however. Manning struggled to place the ball accurately. His 68.5 adjusted completion percentage ranks 89th of 100 qualifying quarterbacks in FBS.
Damn.
Now, some of that is attributed, obviously, they're pushing the ball further down the field.
Right.
So
They're gonna miss
it's harder
more.
to complete. Right. But still, not great, Bob.
Not great.
But I will say this, and this is a weird stat. Manning has the 4th highest rate of turnover-worthy throws this season per Pro Football Focus.
There's never been a nerdier stat than turnover-worthy throws. I've never heard that in my life.
Except he ranks 7th nationally in big-time throw rate.
Oh, dear Lord. Never mind. I stand corrected.
I was going to say. But then there's this last stat, okay? And remember, this all goes back to, like, what do we think Sark's going to do?
Right. Whoa. How do you answer all these numbers?
Well, I'm about to give you the one that is the most soul-crushing.
Okay.
Texas ranks 105th in rushing yards before contact.
Wow.
But in the event that didn't depress you enough,
Oh, Lord, here comes after.
they rank 121st nationally in average yards created after the first touch.
Oh, jeez. Are they good before or after the contact? Nope. That's not good.
I don't know.
That might be the answer to that chat is just, I don't know. But
But can I give you another stat? Look, I don't care if we go a little bit longer than normal. It's a Friday show. Screw it. One more stat for you, though.
mm-hmm.
Because this is at the root. I don't understand about how some people see this game in John Mateer, okay?
Okay.
And I think, goddammit, this is the stat of the week.
Wow, swearing.
Between Arch Manning and John Mateer, those two players, since the beginning of the 2024 season, have combined to make 7 starts against Power 4 defenses. You with me?
Yep.
Mateer has 4, 2 this year, 2 last year.
Okay.
Arch has 3. Mississippi State from a year ago, Ohio State, and Florida.
Yep.
These are the 7 individual game ratings from worst to first in all 7 of those performances, okay?
All right.
105.1, 108.6, 114.4, 132.3, 139.1, 140.3, 193.2.
Wow. Okay.
What just stood out to you? You're not looking at the numbers, you're hearing the numbers.
I'm not.
Should I tell you what I think stands out?
Sure.
There's one real good game.
The 190 one, obviously that sticks out.
There's the 193.2, which is, do you know? The
193, geez. I don't know. I'll say it's Mateer, but I don't know which game.
No, it's Arch versus Mississippi State last year.
That was my first guess, which I didn't take. So there you go. Okay, go with your gut.
Second highest on the board, 140.3. Any guesses?
It's a big drop.
Anyone?
That's a big drop.
Anyone?
Arch in Columbus.
Arch versus Florida last week. So look, before we do anything else, second highest passer rating against a Power 4 defense, whatever the hell you thought of what Arch did last week, between John Mateer and Arch Manning, Arch's second best game, which was last week, is statistically better than anything Mateer has ever done against a defense with like real scholarship players on it.
So what I'm hearing you say is this is going to be Sam Bradford versus Colt McCoy part 2. Is that what I'm hearing?
These are, Arch had a 108.6 against Ohio State. The other game scores on this list, 105.1, 114.4, 132.3, 139.1. That's some Quinn Ewers stuff right there. That is not getting the offense into the end zone a whole lot. That is not efficient. That is not throwing the ball down the field. That is not having a lot more touchdowns and interceptions. Those are poor performances.
Yeah. And also to be clear on something, Catch, this rating that we're talking about, does it take into account rushing at all?
No, this is just passer.
Because that's the irony we've talked about with this game, where each of them can find some success is running the ball to go along with whatever the hell their passing number is going to be.
I'm just saying, whatever we think of John Mateer, Heisman favorite, he has and whatever we think of this Texas team that last week showed that, well, maybe they're not who they are against Ohio State every time they play Ohio State. But that dude has never even been average. He's never had a passer score 140 or above. That's almost Tyrone Swoop's territory, people. Seriously. Like, I'm framing it, right? What it is that people, that's what Shane Buechele was as a freshman. That's what Sam Ehlinger was as a freshman. Sam Ehlinger and Ewers end up being like 150 guys in their career. Mateer's never done that in a game. Not an average against a bunch of teams. Well, he's kind of mid. He's never had a plus 140 passer rating against any Power 4 team. You might be asking, well, who are the Power 4 teams? Texas Tech last year, Washington, not in 2023, last year, Michigan, Auburn. Nothing. There's not the 85 Bears. There's not even the 2024 Longhorns on that list. He has not in his career once done this really kind of average thing. And whatever we think of this Texas defense tomorrow, it is the best defense he will have ever played in his entire career. He hasn't played in a couple of weeks. He's coming off of a broken thumb. He's had surgery. He hasn't practiced. Like, if he goes out and does Dylan Gabriel from 2023, and sometimes you just got to give it up to the dude and be like, what the hell? Like, Where did you pull that rabbit? But my brain is like, the definition of insanity is just keep watching the same thing happen over and over and over again and expecting that it will change. And somehow John Mateer, as a quarterback, having never actually had a good passing game against a good defense that, isn't in a conference with guaranteed bids and stuff, like those things. Sam Houston State and UTSA kind of things. Then what are we doing? Like, I'm mystified. I'm mystified. There's this thought that John Mateer is freaking Aaron Rodgers in his pump. And that's not what he is. In fact, they don't have a chance tomorrow, Oklahoma, if Mateer plays, unless Mateer's just Herculean running the football. And look, he's a good runner. He's not dynamic, but like he can rack up the yards. As bad as he was in games against Texas Tech a year ago throwing the football, he ran for like $150 in one of those games. So like he's capable. But what are you asking of him tomorrow with his hands? I don't know. Can he carry the ball 20 times tomorrow with a hand that I don't know. Like, I don't know what they're asking him to do, but it sounds bananas, Chad.
Some good stats. All right, let's grab these super chats here. Clean them up. 199 from earlier. Michael says, Catch, you need a molcajeta?
That sounds like the thing that has like a green sauce.
Galleta. I don't know.
And that's at the restaurant that I went to, that when the guy told us y'all need to leave.
Yeah.
He was telling us that was like what was going to happen. And we were like looking at him like, well, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I think Michelle would have been okay with this. I was like, look, man, can you put some chicken in a tortilla and just throw some queso on it and call that an enchilada? And he was like, no, that's a taco.
Oh my God.
And he was like, y'all got to go.
Yeah, he did the right thing. He did absolutely the right thing. Michael, thank you. Thank you for that. Here's one for me, $9.99.
I need to say that Michelle is like really like my long-lost sister. Her level of pickiness.
I'm glad y'all got, that's so great to hear y'all got along, and that pickiness is what led you both to your first enchilada in 2025.
We're both psychotic. Like literally we could be put in insane asylums.
That is awesome.
Because I'm telling you, Texas wins tomorrow. We might get letter jackets made claiming our role in victory.
Yeah.
Enchilada patch on the letter jacket.
$9.99 from James. Chad, I'm confused why your confidence is shot in the D. Florida was bad overall, but they adjusted and gave up 7 in the second half, gave up 14 to Ohio State. Now against an average OU offense, you think they are not up to it. James, it's a great point. It's a great question. Trust me, I was trying to make the argument all week. 2 weeks ago, I would have picked Texas. But it's the combo of everything. It's what they gave up against Florida, plus how much I believe Texas can actually run the ball, actually protect Arch, and actually score enough points. That's what got hit in a week. Is it an overreaction? God, I hope so. I can't wait. I'll be so excited. I'll be sitting right here waiting for the show to start on Monday if I get to come on and say, my God, I was wrong. I'm so sorry to the Texas defense. But, yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Man. I'm wrong a lot too, man.
Plus, maybe there's a little save the graphic. Plus, maybe there are a lot of folks that want Texas to win that will just convince themselves of it by today, because that's kind of the way this game plays out. I try to be a little more disconnected if I can. So, Catch ate an enchilada. I'm trying a little reverse psychology by picking OU. Like, we got to try everything we can. Got to try everything we can. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Super chats.
We're done. That was the last.
Last thing before we sign off.
Yeah.
I went to this candlelight concert. Did you go check out the video that I posted?
I have not seen the video yet. No.
Okay. It's a real intimate affair. There's only like 4 rows of seats that kind of go around this stage. And so last night we're at this concert. And it was about an hour-long concert.
Mm-hmm.
And the entire time, there's this beautiful blonde sitting in the front row across the way from me. So like if I'm looking at the group and I tilt my head down, just a stunning, beautiful woman, young woman sitting in the front row. And like I'm looking at her the entire time.
Of course you are.
Well, not the entire time.
Yeah.
Throughout the show, though, for sure.
Right.
Because
You're seeing the back of her head the whole concert.
No, the front of her. I'm seeing her face.
Oh, you're seeing her face. Okay.
I'm in a front row. She's in a front row. We are face to face looking at each other.
Okay.
Because we're in a square. We're
I see. Okay. Gotcha.
So
Go ahead.
I can't look at the thing without even noticing. But the thing it wasn't that she was beautiful. It was that the whole time I kept noticing she's not looking at the stage.
Mm-hmm.
She has a front row seat, and like the group is over here, and her eyes are here. And I thought, is she blind? And then I thought, well, that's interesting. I found myself wondering, am I watching a blind person listen? Like, how beautiful might this be? And kind of intimate for me to eavesdrop in on someone else's experience. Because at times I couldn't tell if she was moved by the music. She just had kind of this weird look on her face. But at no point did her face tilt in a way that would suggest that she was looking at any of the performers.
Okay.
We get towards the end of the show, and finally, her head's bobbing and weaving, and I'm like, oh, she can see. And then it dawned on me. Her face was in her phone the entire time.
I was going to say, was she checking on the Eagles-Giants game because she had money on it?
The whole time, I'm so unfamiliar with like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Never once did it cross my mind. Her face is down in her lap.
You thought she was like getting existential and experiencing the sounds. I'm letting this soak in. No, man. No, I put money on the Eagles. Shut up until this game is over. Leave me alone. Jackson Dart
is about the guy that she was with and wondering, well, how's he doing this? And like, is he paying attention or anything at all? And then in the end, I'm telling you, like suddenly she was super alert. Her eyes were popping all over the place. And like down below her waist was the phone. And then I was like, oh my God. She's not blind. She doesn't have cataracts.
She had money on the Eagles.
She has social media feed. She was on her Instagram page, like uploading photos.
Or she was a Cubs fan. Or so yeah, she was
or
following
a Phillies fan. Can we not?
Nope. I you did that. I didn't do that. No, we cannot. We don't need to get into it. We definitely don't need to get into that.
I've had a week as a sports person.
You have. Shout out to Specs for giving us the Specs chat. Thank you guys for piling in today and dealing with us on a Friday. Also, let me give a shout out to AV Consultations.
My sad pout face.
Huh? There's a sad pout face right there. You might have a sad face if you don't have the right screen. I mean, if you don't have a big enough screen, you might have that face. Get a better face with AV Consultations. They've been doing it since 1988. All right. They'll get you the screen you need. They'll get a bigger screen, a better screen. Hey, 4 screens. You want 8 screens. They even put 12. Tom once told me they put 12 screens in somebody's bathroom. Not bathroom, bedroom. 12 screens in a bedroom. It's possible with AV Consultations. 255-8678 or go to avconsultations.com. Be sure to tell them you heard about it here on Orange Bloods Live. All right, Jeff Ketchum, do you have anything else before we Scottish guy and head on out?
I don't.
All right, thank you all for liking, subscribing, and getting your notifications. One more reminder, come see us at TCH Social Austin. Hopefully Arch will make different faces. $3 jellyfish, $2 select draft, $4 Fanatic cocktails. Come on out and see us, and we'll watch that biggest video wall in the ATX. And hopefully we'll see Texas perform a lot better. Come see us, get in for the post-game show. We'll see how this whole thing rolls, and check out Orange Bloods Live, the video section, the short section. We got a lot of content for you. Y'all have a great one. As we do on Fridays, we will head out with the Scottish guy. This is Orange Bloods Live. See ya. At least you know exactly who your friends are. They're the ones with matching scars. Well, that was a fun trip to Florida. Try a sunburn at the beach, food poisoning from bad crabs, actual crabs, and it rained at Disney every day. Yeah, worse than that. The Longhorns had the worst jaw-dropping, what the hell is happening, loss of the week this side of James Franklin's trip to the other coast. So let's take stock. Did all of our worst offensive fears show up at the same time? Yes. Did the defense we thought we could count on make Florida look like the Tebow era and the Spurrier era had a baby? Yes. But is it all over? No. Remember two things. One, other teams have shown flaws along the way. If you're gonna take nothing out of Texas beating nobody, make sure you do that to other teams. Which brings us to number 2. OU still sucks. They really haven't played anyone. The QB is hurt and probably won't play, and even if he does, this offense may be exactly what the Texas defense needs to get right. Plus, I don't think they have a freshman wide receiver to unleash on UT secondary. Cross your fingers while keeping an eye on the guy from Arkansas Pine Bluff. No, seriously. Pep talk time. O-line. Now or never, lads. You have sucked beyond suck at times, but you can save it. Hell, Arch created a TD when one of you whiffed. Imagine if you blocked just a little. And somebody, please, block number 32 this week. We want Arch to walk out of Dallas. Defense. What in the actual fellas? You're the insurance policy. You're the thing they were clinging to. You're the thing Sark was clinging to. This is not Sam Bradford or Kyler or Baker. And no matter what he says, he ain't Johnny Football either. Plus, can you name one of their running backs? Exactly. Don't make one appear 2 weeks in a row. And finally, Arch, you may have to do even more than anyone thought. Keep going, lad. It will happen. This is the game that makes legends. Let it rip. And run the damn thing too, because apparently we don't have running backs either. All right, most importantly, they still have to go back to Norman. They still have more fingers than teeth, and their beer and porn is still bull. Sing it with me, damn it. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Bunch of losers, bunch of losers. You are filthy, smelly rednecks. Bunch of losers, bunch of losers. We hate you, and you suck. Yes, we hate you. Yes, you suck. Did we mention we hate you? You are losers with no teeth altogether. Oh, you sucks. Leave the panic button behind the glass for a while and just whip the Sooners like you know you can. Does 83-3 sound familiar? We'll go just south of that. Rosters don't flip that fast. UT 62, Mr. Firehose 3. This is SG 4-2.